listening to the Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
And Tommy Kraft.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
Light the candle.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this, cowboy?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those.
So I'd like to endorse a couple of things as we get going this morning. Apparently that's a new theme the last few years is everyone has to endorse something or someone. I'd like to endorse chicken thighs is the best part of the chicken. Tommy, do you concur?
Well, I'm the one that told you that.
I know. I know.
argued
Sometimes
that
you
with
can be swayed. I used to think it was the breast, but now I am in favor of the thighs. Do you concur?
Well, of course. I'm the one that told you that. Yeah.
I concur.
I put you on that platform.
I endorse that Coke Zero is the best Diet Cola out there. Do you concur? Those are two things 100%. That you have swayed me on. Now, there are some things that you think that I am completely disagreeable about, but I just want to endorse those things off the jump this morning. I guess I can go out on a limb and endorse Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback on planet Earth. I mean, this guy, I thought he had a knee injury, an ankle injury, and the guy just keeps on winning. And apparently he has a new toy in DeAndre Hopkins.
Mahomes was hit. Passings caught by Hopkins. Wow, what a grab by DeAndre Hopkins for 35. Protection back in the end zone. Hopkins got him there and got him in. Hopkins at the bottom. His way. Touchdown.
30-24, the final on Monday Night Football. The prediction I had of Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going in Arrowhead and winning came up just short. I'll tell you what, there have been some great matchups between Mayfield and Mahomes. You think about that epic college game back years ago where the two teams combined for over 1,700 yards of offense. They had a good divisional playoff game, 22-17, where once again, Patrick came out the victor, and Tommy even a little nicked up and banged up last night. Chiefs keep on winning, only undefeated team in the National Football League.
They don't lose when Taylor Swift's there. They just don't lose.
Was she there? I actually did not see her last night at all.
Did you not watch
thankfully.
The game? They only showed her about a million times. Yeah.
No. Well, sometimes you just try to avoid stuff like that. I watched the slightest bit, woke up to the score this morning, and
I didn't make it to the end of the overtime.
It's hard. It really is hard. Even us waking up a little more. I'm getting old, man.
I didn't sleep well the night before because of all the storms. At least we got the rain and the thunder all out of the way early last night. All right, so it's where we begin here on this Election Day, November the 5th, brought to you by APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. You may have had some gravel washed out on your road. You may have had, I saw one place where the water was so rough it just ripped the concrete out of the end of a ditch. Maybe you need some aggregates and material for that. APAC can handle that. They've got great jobs right now available that you can join their team as a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, diesel mechanic, electrician. I mean, the list goes on and on and on with APAC Arcola. Go to jobs.crh.com. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
How about the crowd at Sassy's last night, Tommy? It persevered through the weather.
Yeah.
I listened to Live with Coach Cal last night. David Alpin is a friend of mine. Met him in Tulsa a couple years ago. He lives on Fayetteville on Razorback, and he was there. He attends, I feel like, a lot of the coaches' shows. But I was amazed to see so many people because I'm thinking as I'm listening to Derek and Zach yesterday, I was like, well, there's going to be a lot of people listening to Coach Cal, but I don't know how many are actually going to show up. And apparently people are like, screw the rain, screw all this. We're gonna drive there regardless.
Well, I was texting back and forth with Zach. I mean, that wall cloud and tornado was bearing down on Springdale in our studio location there, and you were watching the one up at Rogers. It's kind of an eerie afternoon, and I was in Fort Smith and texting back and forth with them, and they were trying to figure out where to huddle up in the building and find some safety. Well, no, but it was kind of an anxious afternoon as that cloud was headed our way, and it was ugly in northwest Arkansas about sunset yesterday.
Bruce Stanton's here, Pradco Fishing. Bruce, weather yesterday. Would you like to also endorse Jaden Daniels as Rookie of the Year for your Washington Commanders as we're in the midst of endorsing season?
definitely endorse Jaden Daniels, but I'm more on the bass crappie ticket.
Endorsing Bass
It's a little
Crappie
late for
24.
endorsements.
Bass
I mean,
is president, crappie's vice
Yeah.
president.
A little late for your endorsement. Should have come weeks ago to sway the crowd, Ty. Now it's down to election day.
You've got your voting sticker on.
Yep.
I was given one. It's something I don't know where it ended up. Now I will endorse early voting. I don't understand.
Hang on, you were given one. What do you mean you were given one?
I mean, I was given a voting sticker. They didn't slap
Did
it
you
on
actually
there.
vote?
You didn't. Did you go vote?
Yeah, last week.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. I will endorse also early voting. I've never understood people that wait till the very last day when it's the most crowded. My dad gave me a piece of advice, and he's given me a lot of advice, most of which I've heeded. But he's like, a couple things. Revenue office, never go at the end or the beginning of the month. I try to stay out of there that. And he said, when it comes to voting, when I turned 18, he was like, go early vote. There's no sense of waiting for the last day. I've never understood people that do that. The lines are longer. It's more turmoil, whatever the case may be. I mean, if you haven't, go do it. But I just don't understand that.
So I went yesterday about 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that. And, go in. You have to have your ID, of course, and you show up. And I don't know, maybe I just caught it at the wrong moment. There was only like 4 or 5 people in line in front of me. I caught it at a really good time. But, like, the ladies that were in front of me that were giving their license to the ladies at the desk, I guess they thought it was the church social or the crock pot hour, or I don't know. They just stood there and talked as the line's going out the door. I'm like, because it was building. I'm like, what are y'all doing? You check the ID, and then I got up and they barely got a high.
I think we take for granted some of us get to drive around. A lot of people have to work like 10-hour days at a station or be in a building. So, voting early for some people is not the option.
He can't do it. And for those that can, I think I should maybe reframe that a little bit. But that was just a piece of advice my dad gave me
advice.
back over the years. All right, let's get into our opening drive.
I was upset the day before the game because all of a sudden we became a little bit of an arrogant team. And I'm like, dudes, it was an exhibition game. And they didn't have their big guy.
Here is Hunt for the touchdown. Kansas City remains unbeaten.
The only thing I really have for you as far as the timeline would be that he will not be available this week.
Speaking of deep three, shows his range. That was well behind the line.
Shot clock down to 1. Able to get it off. Oh, what a clutch shot, Charlie Williams.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
Bruce, how about our Oklahoma City Thunder? Speaking of undefeated,
7-0.
Isaiah Joe, just
it?
cannon threes left and right. I saw his dad the other day. We were talking a little bit. 7-0, on their way to the championship this year, the finals. I know it's early, and it's only NBA, but not the only undefeated team like Kansas City. 82-0. We're going to outdo Steph Curry and the Warriors 2016, 73-9. But yeah, I'm excited. I guess Jalen's still a little banged up.
Just need Jalen back.
Yeah,
back.
Hopefully have that. But I always love to see when Razorbacks perform. Most Moody playing pretty good for Golden State, who's 6-1 right now. But congratulations to a couple.
Shoot, man.
By the way, someone broke into Bobby Portis's house. I don't know. Tommy, did you see that?
Saw that.
Did you see that? And he is so
Cleveland
loved.
game.
He is so loved in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Like, how can you be a Milwaukee resident or fan and break into one of your favorite players' house? I saw. I felt.
How do you know the thief was a?
He might not be.
Bucks fan?
What's
They
the?
came over from Minnesota.
Is it it was a Pacers fan that maybe did, I don't know what the Bucks rivalry is in the NBA, but did see that yesterday. So you got a couple of Razorbacks again making some noise.
Man, if you broke into Bobby's house and then like he was there and you weren't expecting that, and he hit you with those eyes,
the crazy eyes.
the crazy eyes.
I love that
I'm just going the other way.
He lays into that a little bit. How about Cal just being like, why are you guys acting so cocky? We beat a team without the National Player of the Year in 100 in an exhibition.
Not a real game.
And he's got 3 freshmen. He's got 3 guys that played with him last year. TB's still here, and then a handful of other guys. But how about him just being blunt? Be like, y'all beat a team that didn't have their best player. What are y'all doing?
What did he say that was wrong? I mean, he's 100% right. That's why people are asking me about that. And just, hey, what do you think about them losing? I'm like, I think he wanted them to lose. I think he wanted to compete.
100%.
I know that's counterintuitive and doesn't make sense, but he could probably sense that going into the game that, hey, they need to be brought down a little bit. I think he confirmed it with that comment. But no one designs a loss.
There are only 2 programs where anyone cares about exhibition games here in Kentucky.
Yeah.
The rest of them don't even know what happened.
I guess that one of the highlights also incorporated.
TCU clearly had 3,000 there, so it wasn't a big deal to them either.
And they didn't even send their radio crew. They had Chuck and Z pulled double duty. One of the highlights also in there, Lipscomb, you played last night. So Arkansas's 2 opponents this week, one of them got rocked. Baylor lost by like 30-something to Gonzaga last night. It was a massacre, 101-63. Lipscomb, though, did beat their opponent 77-72 last night. I already hate Cooper Flagg. He is my least favorite player in college basketball, as is every Duke star each and every year. I'm endorsing him for the most hated player in college basketball, even though Arkansas doesn't even play him this season. But watch some college basketball last night, and then watch that Monday Night Football game. I'm glad college basketball is back. I'm so happy it's back.
Too early.
It's too early? You can't get in? Well, no. Tennessee's good. Arkansas's in the, hey, is it basketball season yet? What are you going to do against Texas? Am I moving on? Am I staying here? Like, I still know. I want to talk about football for the next week and a half. What?
How about the Commanders?
Yeah. Jane Daniels, endorsing Rookie of the Year. All right, that is your opening drive here this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at First Financial Mortgage. Really appreciate Ethan Adamson, everything he helped me through with mortgage stuff, refinancing. He can help you there. First time like me. He's been with the company for over 10 years, 90 plus years of mortgage experience for First Financial. Great experience I had. There's so many others. You go to Google reviews. I think it's up to a 5 out of 5 now on Google reviews. Nearly 300 people that have rated Ethan, Emily, and their team at First Financial Mortgage. Give them a call, 479-782-9300, or go online to ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, equal housing lender. So if you guys, y'all refresh yourself on the SEC tiebreakers, considering where Tennessee is, where Texas A&M is.
I don't want to be in the SEC championship game. I just want to play in
I don't. You're Penn State.
I don't want to play in that.
Penn State
Why
probably
want to play in that.
Penn State probably going to the college football playoff with one loss.
Hang on, you want to play in it because you get a bye, right? You want to play in it. Are you saying a bye is bad?
You're going to play 2 games no matter what.
Here's my thing, Tommy.
Well,
the opportunity to play a home college football playoff game in Neyland Stadium or in College Station, Texas, or any SEC program that actually has a shot. That is, I think, personally more appealing than a bye. Like, if you're just a fan, now from a coaching vantage point, you're exactly right. Elko, Heupel, Smart, they want to buy, and they want to play for the SEC
Tennessee
championship.
Don't play well off buys. We've determined that.
Yeah. Well, Arkansas, we're going to find out if Arkansas does next weekend. But it is like we say, as the cliche is, it's as wide open as it's ever been. Quite literally, we have not had a college football season like this since 2007. It's been nearly 20 years since we've had something this crazy. And we still have 4 weeks more of the college football season. A lot of conference games that are going to dictate what happens in the SEC championship game. And it's not even like one team's locked in, because A&M lost their chance out to really control their own destiny in Columbia, South Carolina this past Saturday night.
Well, and question is, will you end up with 2 1-loss teams in the SEC championship game? Or is it going to be a 1-loss and a 2-loss team?
I think it's going to be a 1-loss and a 2-loss.
I think I would say the latter, Tommy. 1 loss and a 2-loss.
I mean, because you got Texas, Tennessee, and Georgia are the 1-loss teams that are left.
The problem, if you make the
three?
SEC championship game and you lose and you end up with 3 losses, 3 conference losses, possibly 4 total losses, that will eliminate you from the 12.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be a good thing, making the SEC championship game.
All right, let's get to it. It's that time of the week. It's time for our Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Who are the best football teams in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
I thought this week was pretty easy to figure out the top team to put in there. Tennessee off, A&M loses. I'm going Georgia at the top, 7-1, 5-1 at Ole Miss, who look like maybe the best team in the league against the Razorbacks. I don't have them there, but I got Georgia at number 1 as a 1-loss team traveling to Oxford this week.
Our eye test gets easily swayed this year because teams look so good and so bad in the matter of a week. Georgia didn't look good. If DJ Lagway didn't get hurt for Florida.
That's a great point.
Might have been a different game. They've lost 2 starters. Mertz got hurt against Tennessee, so a Yale walk-on was their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And Beck's thrown 6 picks the last 2 games. I mean, he's wanting to give it away, but they're number 1.
All right, so we agree. Georgia number 1. I got Tennessee number 2. Off last week, got Mississippi State. They're going to most likely be 8-1 and 5-1 in the league. I've got Tennessee and the Volunteers checking in at 2 this week.
I just got a text from my wife, Dr. Stanton. Tommy and I can't sit next to each other in class anymore. So I got Tennessee number 2. 7-1, 4-1. I think Phil Fulmer's the offensive coordinator at Tennessee now. We're just power sweep left, rely on the defense, and
old school.
When you're good at something, you just keep doing it.
Old
right?
school, man.
Run it till they stop it. Run until they
Tennessee's
stop
playing
it.
Mississippi State this week.
Yeah,
I was gonna say they're big distinction.
There'll be
big distinction.
This is not. I mean, I don't want to say it's a trap game, but this should be a game that you at home
How
should
about
win and win going
Tennessee
away.
might score a touchdown in the first half.
How about Georgia having to play in Oxford this week and then having to play Tennessee this next week?
I think it's a great schedule.
That is the SEC did not do Georgia any favors this offseason.
I got A&M at 3 after the loss this past weekend to South Carolina. They got dominated in the second half in particular, but had them at 1 last week, dropping them to 3. They're 5-1 in the league, 7-2 on the season. They got the week off this Saturday.
I don't know why. I just dropped them further. They look terrible. I got Texas 7-1, 3-1. Open date. They have struggled the past 2 weeks against Georgia and Vandy, but I moved Texas up to 3rd.
All right, so we have found some disagreement there in the 3rd spot. I got LSU at 4. They're 6-2, 3-1. Was off last week. Take on Bama this week. I've still just got plenty of real visuals of how they dominated Arkansas. They're big and they're physical up front. They've got a veteran quarterback. I like LSU at number 4.
Well, we differ again. I put Ole Miss. What I saw Saturday, if that's the Ole Miss that can show up every week, then they're a top-tier team in the SEC. Broke every Manning passing record in one day.
Yeah. That's the thing. Which Ole Miss will show up? And
Kentucky did beat them in Oxford.
That's the thing that's got me keeping them still outside. I don't have Ole Miss in my top 6, even though I probably should after the way they bruised up the Razorbacks. All right, so I've got LSU at 4. You got Ole Miss at 4. I got Texas at 5. You had Texas at 3. So I'm going to guess you got A&M at 5.
I got A&M. They got smacked 44-20 in Columbia. No one wants to go to Columbia this time of year.
Nope.
They
Either
ruin
one.
seasons.
Sandstorm, man.
Either one.
Do not want it.
Yeah. Texas, I got them there. You mentioned their record at 7-1, 3-1. Florida this week, the Razorbacks the following week. And kind of took a page out of your book for number 6. They just continue to impress. Their record's not as good as others. Maybe don't belong at 6, but
There
I got
it
the
is.
Vanderbilt Commodores
Odors.
at number 6. It's 6-3. They're 3-2 in the league. South Carolina this week. They could really validate that they belong in this conversation with a win over South Carolina, who is still riding that emotional high, I'm sure, throughout the week.
Well, South Carolina, I'm with you on number 6. Vanderbilt ranked 24th. Good to see that. Can they back it up? Can they go to Nashville and dominate the crowd and dominate the Commodores? I don't think so. I'm picking Vandy in that game.
All right, so I got Georgia, Tennessee, A&M, LSU, Texas, Vandy. You're slightly different with the Longhorns higher, the Aggies a little bit lower, and we agree on Vandy. You got Ole Miss in, and I don't have them in.
No Alabama at all.
Yeah, no Alabama in either of ours. That's
No
kind of
Alabama.
weird. So where are we
That would
right?
be a wonderful world, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be. I don't think that trend's going to last forever, but where are we right, where are we wrong, Ty?
It's really hard, Tommy, for me to not have Ole Miss in the top 6 after what I saw this weekend. Maybe we're making too much out of
Little
last
recency
weekend.
bias.
Yeah, I think that's true. Bruce, I think you dropped A&M. I mean, 5 spots seems a little extreme after this weekend, and you mentioned how tough it is to play in Columbia. Those would be the 2 things that I think stood out to me on y'all's list when I look at them.
All right, so that's
greater, Ty.
This week's episode, and I'll be interested to see, and I know that the committee's going to look at it much broader than 6 teams, and they're going to look at it much broader than the SEC, but how they kind of view the SEC. I don't think Vanderbilt's going to be in their selections, maybe towards the tail end of their poll, but I'm very interested tonight in what the College Football Playoff Committee thinks.
It doesn't matter. It's the first one, but it will get shook up because Ole Miss and Georgia will have something to say about it, and LSU, Alabama will have something to say about it. That 2 great games coming up.
And they know the matchups as well, and they often set up things in the rankings that are going to decide themselves on the field, and they know it, and it bails them out of the decision. So looking forward to that. Man, we have had 9 inches of rain in the River Valley near the Arkansas River at Lock and Dam 13 over the last 2.5 days. How does all this runoff it makes the water murkier and muddier? How does that affect the fishing?
It changes what you're doing. Like I'll give you an example. Down at Broken Bow, we're catching them in the river. There's no flow coming in on bomber fat free shad crankbaits. Well, where we were fishing, that water has risen 3 feet on a 20,000 acre lake. 36,000 cubic feet a second is coming in right now. So you better get it down by the dam and fish what we call push water, where all that clear water is, because the areas you're fishing in the backs of the creeks and pockets are probably a raging river right now. So I always like getting near dams in the clear water this time of year. Water temperature's not coming down. You can still catch topwater fish on a Rebel Popar or a crankbait on a bomber fat free shad bomber Model A. And you can still find fish. You just got to think about it, because most of it looks like chocolate milk right now.
All right, Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com. Get ready to go fishing before the weather turns too cold. Bruce, good to see you, and we'll catch up next week.
Good to see y'all. All
right, it is Election Day, but it's also Taco Tuesday. And you can stop in at Joe's Grill and Cantina. $1 crunchy tacos all day for lunch and dinner tonight. Great way to head to the polls or from the polls. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Don't forget half-price apps and taps. They'll have that for the game next weekend and for the Hogs game coming up on Wednesday night. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina, South 74th Street in Fort Smith.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Jay Billis of ESPN, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based brands.
He means the website, which is shop-on-razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crick hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crick hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crick hopper.
From the Buffalo River to the Louisiana line, from the Texas and Oklahoma borders to the capital city and into the Delta, the natural beauty, the natural resources, and the hardworking citizens make Arkansas's 4th District more than just the heart of the natural state. It is a land of opportunity to raise families, to build communities, and to do our part for a brighter future. I'm Congressman Bruce Westerman. It's an honor to serve you. I approve this message and sincerely ask for your vote.
Paid for by Westerman for Congress. Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and we are live at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District. Jose, but what we got whipping up today, man?
Man, today's special. We have the French toast turkey melt, kind of a special sandwich. It really didn't put us on the map, but it did put a star by our name.
Daily specials every day at the award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop. And if you don't believe me, ask Lily.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich. I'm buying them at the Bakery District today.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood couple.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yeah?
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So Arkansas opens against Lipscomb tomorrow night, Bud Walton Arena. John Calipari will take on a 1-0 Lipscomb basketball team. Here's what he said about them.
But I'm so happy we played those kind of games to get us ready, because Lipscomb is a lot like Princeton. Back doors, double back doors, curls, shoot a three, big man steps out. They make 15 threes. We can lose the game.
They won 77-72 in their season opener. Baylor lost by 30-plus to Gonzaga, and there's not pretty for the Baylor Bears whatsoever. My dad, Tommy Baylor Brad, has texted in. He wants to bet on this game come Saturday night at 6:30. He said that we can either bet on barbecue, or you and me have to see the Baylor fight song, or he has to see the Arkansas fight song.
Ooh. How many points we get?
I don't know if Arkansas.
We gonna bet straight up or against the line?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But after
we talking brisket here? Or are we talking a pulled pork sandwich?
There's big difference.
I got questions, Baylor Brad.
He 101-63 the final for Baylor last night. I don't know if I want to bet on Arkansas after what happened to Baylor this past week, because you want to hear some wild what Scott Drew does? So they have a cussing tally in practice. I've got a friend who's a GI on the team, and I thought this was a joke. I thought this was a ruse, but they will tally players' cuss words during practice. And I forget if it's suicides or whatever, but there's some punishment you have to go. And Drew doesn't cuss, which is
the Baptist school. It's an institution.
But we know
based
plenty
on
of
religion.
godly Christian men that when it comes to a coaching profession, they let it loose. And he's just telling me, it's like, yeah, it's very strict.
Hi, this isn't the county VOTEC. I mean, this is Southern Baptist.
I was very surprised. I would not make it in a practice at Baylor University based on those restrictions or whatsoever. Moving on, DJ Wagner also in attendance with Coach Cal last night at Sassy's. Here's what he said about, hey, getting to really go across the state.
It was fun for all of us, just being able to play in front of people, not even in just Fayetteville, just in front of other parts of Arkansas, and just seeing how much support we had. It made us all excited for the upcoming season. So we had a lot of support in both places, and it was fun for us.
I think that would be pretty cool as a college player to, like, Arkansas is just so unique as a state where outside of Nebraska, there really is nothing truly like this state. And Nebraska doesn't have the same basketball support. They've got good baseball support, but not Arkansas. And so for a kid that's played Kentucky and New York and New Jersey, and then to come down here, it's obviously a culture shock. But now to just get to see, man, this state really cares about the program itself, not just the college in Fayetteville.
Well, you pay attention to college basketball. It shouldn't surprise you. It shouldn't be a shock that, we don't like to say it out loud. We like to kind of whisper it, but we're a basketball school. I mean, at the end, and right now, probably more so than the early to mid-'90s, we're a basketball school right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd love to be a football school, but the reality is, hopefully we've awoken the giant under Musselman, and now you've got Coach Cal. We're basketball.
Tommy is endorsing that Arkansas is a basketball school.
I've been saying it for 8 months.
How long has it been? How long since Cal got hired, or has it been longer than that?
We're a basketball school. Look where we're spending our money. Look what we've made a priority, whether we like it or not. And listen, I'd love to be a football school. I'd love to be I would love to be anxious about tonight to see where we fit in the 12-team playoff, college football playoff committee ranking.
Hunter, you have to recruit. You have to recuse yourself because we're going to talk about Arkansas.
Wouldn't that be great?
It's like Jeff Law. I remember Jeff Law saying, hold on, I'll get into this for in a sec. That's your Hog Update. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
Tommy, I'm forgetting the year, but don't you remember how excited Jeff Lawn was when he had to recuse himself as the college football playoff committee chairman because Arkansas was being mentioned or something like that? When you talk about your school, like you're supposed to leave the room or it's not supposed to be biased or whatever. I remember him getting on the airwaves and he was so happy that Arkansas was at least in the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't think, unfortunately.
This is Hunter's first year, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So their first one.
And you think about the lifetime, which hadn't really been that long, of the college football playoff committee in its various forms. You had Jeff Long, you had Ken Hatfield on there. Now you got Hunter Yurachek. So I mean, Arkansas has been well represented on that committee. Unfortunately, there hasn't been a lot of recusals.
We need to go to Dallas. Is not that far. Frisco, wherever it's at.
Great. Don't they do it in Grapevine there?
Yeah, some Dallas Fort Worth metro city or
the Motel
suburb.
6
at the Motel 6.
At the Motel 6.
I would like to experience one of those meetings. I know occasionally they'll bring media members down and let them sit in on. I think that would be just a cool experience to see what they discuss, especially now, Tommy, with them moving to 12 teams. And we only have 4 more weeks of the regular season, especially the SEC, where it's only going to get spicier.
Yeah. I miss. I mean, you'll have a breakaway at some point tonight from election coverage to watch that. So, all right, no college football here in our state this week. Be back at the Stadium Shop before the Texas game, bright and early. Now that we've had the time shift, get by the Stadium Shop right next door to Baum-Walker Stadium. How'd the $10 sale rack go on Saturday?
It was nuts. There's a customer, Tommy, that walked out. He spent $330.
All right, it's all at the Stadium Shop next to Baum-Walker on Razorback Road. And you can catch it right there off exit 60. Hey, also a great time to call our friends at the Fence Man, 782-3936. With the wind and the rains and everything we've had, maybe some flood water has pushed a section of your fence over. The Fence Man can help restore that fence and get it back to where it belongs. 782-3936. After all these storms, there's always fence damage, and you wonder who to call to get those fence repairs done. The Fence Man can do it. 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
That line.com for your daily fix.
Arkansas Razorbacks and every word ain't mixed. Keep it tuned, keep it live, they never steer wrong. Morning's much brighter with this duo song. Crafty Richardson, the perfect blend. Morning rush together, they'll drive you till the end. From the south to the north, spreading that Razorback cheer. Every weekday morning, they're the voices you hear.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb pages for him.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time to participating restaurants.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. West Arc Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact West Arc Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. West Arc Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call West Arc Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build it yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
Basketball season starts tomorrow night. Bud Walton Arena, Lipscomb coming to town. Game's going to be on the SEC Network Plus. You can tune in. It's an app game. It's a streaming game. Here's my question. Sold out in a matter of a few weeks. You're playing Lipscomb. What kind of crowd is there tomorrow night? Wednesday night? Is this a full house? To open the season, the first game for John Calipari?
Help me on this. There's no high school basketball.
No.
Who plays on Wednesday nights across our state?
Arkansas.
No. But
nothing else going on.
Is there no football? There's no junior high
Day after
JV
the
or anything?
election? No. I mean,
Depends how the election goes.
Maybe. You may be right. We may still be trying to figure out who's won the election.
I don't know how many people were there for Kansas. I don't remember. But I can't imagine there'd be more than what there were for the Kansas game. But Razorback fans have proved me wrong before, and they could prove me wrong again. I know Big C and Colton are going tomorrow night. I've just elected to stay home and watch it.
I'm trying to figure out whether I want to go. I've got tickets, got a parking pass. Don't want to go through with it or watch it from home.
Personally, I think if you're on the fence, I think it's worth it to go. I think this basketball team has enough offensive firepower that they're going to do things occasionally from game to game that just wow you. You were talking about in the first segment, Arkansas being a basketball school with just how the funds have been allocated, just kind of our mindset nowadays. Well,
you hired John Calipari.
Yeah, no,
you're a basketball school.
No, and I think with this team, like Lipscomb, by the way, is not a bad basketball team at all. They'll probably be at least in the running for an NCAA tournament bid this year.
All right, over under. Let me set an over under. 15,400.
Oh, over easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 16.5.
I'd say
16.
over. I say you're going to be a little over 17. 17 in the 19,200. I think you'll bust 17,000 in this game. Technically, they're also
that's a full house. Then.
Yeah, technically they're all sold out. Yeah, technically they're all sold out.
19.2 is a sellout.
Yeah, so I'm going to say you'll bust 17,000 in this game. You're about 2,000 short from an official.
So what
sell.
would be a good over under? 17,000.
Yeah, I would say. What do you think, Big C? Over under 17,000.
I say right at 17. A little bit over.
Okay.
Do
you think over?
I'm going to go under.
You're going under.
Now,
too high of expectations.
Here's the thing: we'll never know because, like you said, the box score will read 19,200 because it is a sellout. So that's what we're going to get as the number. But I think you're going to see some empty seats in there.
Cody from Lavaca says he wants to know how much the tickets and the parking pass are. He's a paying customer and a loyal listener. So you can
Cody
sell
in Lavaca?
You could sell it if you want to.
We'll
if you're
talk
on the
later.
fence of
Cody, you want to go to the game?
If you're on the fence of going, or you could just be a charitable person here on a bandwagon. A charitable person. What did I say? Charitable person here on a bandwagon Tuesday.
Oh,
You know,
I'm going to buy you a dictionary for Christmas.
I changed the wording. I got it right the second
for the fifth time. Yeah,
the second or third time.
Cherishable.
Charitable.
Charitable.
Yeah, that's what I said. for the fourth time.
Yeah.
Or on the fourth time.
You know what they say, fourth time's the charm.
Fourth time's the charm. Tomato, potato. All right, that is your Morning Rush Daily Question brought to you by our friends at Cart Pass Social. I was there this weekend. Me and Christian were hanging out a little bit. If you're looking for a great place to hang out, maybe get away from the missus, or in the case of you misses, trying to get away from the man, you can stop by Cart Pass Social in Lowell. CartPassSocial.com. Over 500 different golf courses that you can play at, different majors that professional golfers participate in each and every year. There's several bays that you can rent out, and it's cost affordable too. So it's not per person, it's per bay. So if you want to take advantage, stop by and see them. Again, cartpasssocial.com. It is BYOB. Any food, any alcohol you can bring. You don't have to wear golf attire. It's fun, it's casual, and it's owned by two Rogers boys. I know people asking all the time, are these Arkansas kids? Yes. Went to college with them. Rogers Mountie and Rogers Heritage is where these guys went to. Actually, they both went to Heritage. But two Arkansas boys through and through. Christian Olson, Nate Gearhan, cartpasssocial.com if you want to check out the best indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas.
You know, if you ever think no one's listening, all you got to do is mention I got a couple extra tickets to the game, and your phone blows up.
That's your own. By the way, Baylor Brad is said he will bet an Arts barbecue bet with us on the game, but he wants straight up. I think you're probably right. I think Baylor's probably going to be favored in this game, even though they just got fleeced last night.
So win or lose, I get to go eat at Art?
Yes, it's a win.
How's that a loss?
It's a win-win situation in this case. So I know that most of you listening here at 9:46 on hour one of the Morning Rush here on a Bandwagon Tuesday would not endorse me for a public educator or someone that involves language whatsoever. But I will ask. I will ask you this morning.
Ty Richardson,
I got
for
you.
Board of Education.
Yeah, I got you. That's what is that? 9:46. We're gonna jot that.
They're not
down.
going to put you on the school board.
No, they won't. They won't. And I'll probably be yelling at the school board in about 10 or 15 years when I eventually procreate and have kids, because I don't think I have kids right now.
Wait till you pay your property taxes.
Yeah, it blows. Are you endorsing Sam Pittman? Someone endorsed Rhett Lashley this morning as the next Arkansas head coach. Again, we're in election season, endorsing season. As long as
election season's about over, dude.
Yeah,
we're like 10 hours from it all being behind us.
I know. But in this time, I try to weave this in as best I could. And you can call or text us 877-377-6963 if you want to endorse Sam Pittman. If you want to endorse another candidate, I'll endorse Sam Pittman as long as they beat Louisiana Tech, or I'm endorsing him right now. That's contingent upon a Louisiana Tech win. That's 2 more wins than last year. They win a bowl game. Potentially it's 3. There is improvement. I'd like to see what this team can do with Taylon Green in year 2 under Bobby Petrino. We saw the jump that Ryan Mallett made from 2009 to 2010. Not saying we're going to see that type of jump, but I think there can be improvement there. I wonder what this offense is going to look like without Andrew Armstrong. But this is your opportunity to endorse your current head football coach, or like this morning, if there's another person that you want to endorse, because we know that the athletics department is listening and they heed every single word that is said on this radio show. This is your chance to do so. Because I like in any situation when someone is on the verge of looking for another job of any sort when it comes to athletics at the University of Arkansas, and they throw out these random ideas as random people, prospects they have no shot at getting. I find it interesting this time of year.
I think you can endorse whoever you want. Sam Pittman's your coach next year. Period.
Even if they, the only thing that changes on that is if they lose to Louisiana Tech, which they're not going to lose to Louisiana Tech.
I don't even know that it changes then, guys.
I'll endorse him, but the defensive line and offensive line have to get better. They just have to, or we're going to see another mediocre season.
How many programs, out there don't think their line play needs to be better? Even the great ones think it needs to be better. So you're right.
Yeah,
the problem is, what makes up a really great line? You need about 8 of them, as we saw with Ole Miss, and there's just not a lot of those kind of human beings walking around.
Or that you can afford.
Or the ones you can afford, exactly. Another great point.
Jimmy texted his endorsements. Why are we going all over the country looking for another losing mediocre coach when you have one of the best already in Bobby Petrino? Have people changed their position and their thoughts on Coach Petrino through 9 games? Has anything changed how you felt about him as this revered, legendary figure?
Unless Bobby Petrino's got some corners and safeties to bring with him. I mean, I'm not sure if those two guys swapped roles and he's the head coach. Do you think the record is grossly different?
In some people's minds, yes, but in reality, I don't.
Tell me why, though. Give me some real reason.
I'm not in that camp, but I think in some people's mind that is the only thing that could change for this football
the
program.
disciplinarian thing to
Yeah, because that works so well with today's youth. Yeah. I mean, we think about Bobby Petrino. We got to remember, kids were different in 2010, 2011. They just were. And now that, well, we've made it better by giving them hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes their attitude and their follow through and their discipline and their listening skills to their authority figures even better, right? Probably not. So, I mean, I don't know that his style that we are all so tied into would work so well. We forget that's 15 years ago.
I was waiting on this text. Aaron in Fayetteville, thank you. I'm endorsing Nick Saban to come out of retirement and encounter this heck of a challenge that awaits him here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
You got to remember this, and I understand Chad Morris had beached the boat. I mean, he had sunk the boat here, but it was Barry Lunny Jr. or it was Sam Pittman. That's what you were down to. They didn't hire Sam Pittman, and I think he has done a great job of taking what he got, which was a turd on wheels, and turning it into at least something respectable. The problem we've got right now is, and it's some recency because we just lived through it Saturday, but we also had it in the LSU game, is we thought we were past the point of getting embarrassed. You thought you were past the point of blowouts. And that's why some, not all of us, feel the way we do, is because we thought we were past some of this stuff that we lived through towards the end of Bielema and certainly through the Chad Morris era.
So
the blowouts aren't helping.
Yeah, let me present this.
Losing's not great. Don't hear me wrong, but it's the curb stompings that's hurting us.
Yeah, and on that note, and I hope this doesn't happen in a week and a half, but there is some data that could show it could happen. If they get rocked by Texas,
which is very possible.
Yeah, it's very possible. Maybe they lose close in Columbia, but the apropos word lose. Like, what do you tell your fan? I guess it's contingent upon what the bowl and the end of the year. And I know you got 2 wins better, but the problem again, and it's not a one-time thing. It's the last 3 years. It's the consistency of getting rocked or not playing your best football at home. We've all been taught since birth, protect this house. I don't know where the disconnect is with Sam Pittman, his staff, and his football team the last 3 years, where they played arguably worse at home than they have on the road. Makes no sense to me.
And you mentioned Art's barbecue earlier. That makes me want to make some lunch plans for Art's today. Maybe some of those tender baby back ribs. Tell them to just cut the center of the rack
the loin.
out. Yeah, they're loin back ribs. So that would be good for lunch today.
Loin's a great word.
We were talking about that. So is that our bet with Baylor Brown?
Yes, it is.
Right.
I think been executed.
Art's is the deal. All right, I'm in on that deal. Hey, if you're making plans to get to Fayetteville for a basketball game or maybe some holiday shopping, holiday trip, call our friends at the Inn at the Mill. Man, that storm was kind of bearing down on the Inn at the Mill and that exit last night. 479-443-1800 is the number. 443-1800. Big oversized suites, fast internet, great breakfast to start the day. We love to stay at the Inn at the Mill. 443-1800 or call the Inn at the Mill and talk to Jen today for your reservation.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult belt sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based brands.
He means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, NHL to entertainment and political props. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot.
It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill.
So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas.
Swark Liquor. We promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
All right, we're running out of time for your endorsement. We've got an hour left. What are you endorsing in hour number 2? You can stay away from politics, but we'll tie it in, I guess.
Oh, you don't want to talk politics?
Not
Just get
really.
everybody good and fired up this morning?
Not really.
Divide the audience, choose sides.
Democrats listen to sports radio, too.
Maybe, well, this is the day, though, that, I've got my sticker.
There you go. Look at you.
Vote. Vote. That's what you should do today. I'm endorsing getting to the polls.
Michael-
I'm also endorsing, though, if you're one of the poll workers, like there was yesterday when I
There
went
we
and
go.
voted.
Lay it out.
It's not time to have. It's kind of like when someone pulls up to the toll booth back when we had toll booths, and they thought that was an information booth.
Mm-hmm.
I need directions to how do I get to Casa Bonita in Tulsa? Well, sir, we're in Muskogee. Well, yeah, but which road do I take up here? And they're just holding the line up. Now, that was going on yesterday when I went to vote, that there was like 3 people that, well, have you heard about Eileen? Eileen had that hernia surgery. It just goes on and on and on.
Hey, can I just ask you something?
I got to deal with that today.
Can I just ask you something? And you can admit this. Is it fair to characterize you as impatient at times?
Absolutely,
Okay.
but just don't. I'm not impatient. Just don't waste my time. We're 4 deep. We're trying to get through. No one enjoys standing in the line.
Tell our audience how valuable your time is right now.
Well, it is to me. Well, I'm with you, so I mean, I cherish every.
There we go.
It's charitable every moment, as you said earlier. It's cherishable.
No, yeah,
my time is cherishable.
No, Tommy, it's charitable, not charitable. It's charitable.
Yeah.
All right, Tom's going to join us
Do
coming
you
up.
have time to waste? I don't have time to waste. My day's pretty packed.
I'm the same way, kind of. Even if I'm not,
I don't
just
mind.
like to
I
waste
don't have. I don't mind exercising patience if you're giving me a reason
Patience
to
is
exercise.
patience is a virtue.
Well, I'm not virtuous, but if you're giving me a reason, then I should be patient. But,
virtuous, sir. I already. Know.
I don't need to hear about Eileen's hernia surgery. Just get out of the way.
Like
This
the
isn't
ticket
time of the
scanner
play.
at
You don't like the. You don't like
Oh,
the.
that's another great
That's the-
example. You get to the gate and, hey, can you tell me where the bathrooms are? Well, no, we're sitting. That's not the time of the place.
Or the people.
Scan your tickets, get out of the way so the next person can enter the stadium.
Here's one of my biggest pet peeves before we talk to Tom on that. The people that don't download their tickets before they get in line. Or they get to the stadium. Because what happens is
And then there's no internet.
Yeah, there's no way. You can't access them. Just do it before.
So then you go to the gate and you want the person to take your word for it. I know the tickets are on here.
What's the antithesis of a procrastinator?
Oh, listen to you.
Do you like
Look
that?
At you.
Look at that.
Spell it for us.
Tom's a wordsmith. He knows. But I am the antithesis
Is that next to
of that.
precipice? Is that right there next to it?
Well, I'm a month out from turning 30, so there's certain aspects of my life that I've got to get on the right track. Not just relationship wise, but also from a just a speaking perspective.
Yeah.
And that would be one of. So I'm trying to incorporate bigger words in my vocabulary. Reading would help.
Reading a dictionary.
Reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yeah.
The 3 R's.
Brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands at the best prices. Lee, Jay, and Chris are there every day to take care of you and your family. And whatever your camping and RV needs are. Lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. And we're reaching that time of the year where, we haven't really needed to winterize anything yet, but we're going to be reaching that point pretty soon. If you need help winterizing your RV, they can do that for you at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Not only do I not like it, it prevents fans from clapping. You can't use both hands when you're ringing a stupid cowbell. I just think that at some point the SEC ought to put the teeth into it. I think they ought to get over it and slowly enforce it.
Now, Tom, if you can't put teeth into it, Starkville, you'd have to put a tooth into it. That's about as far as we can go.
Oh!
Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Tell you, it would be nice if Bruce, I don't know if Bruce is listening or not, but if Mississippi State, Tom, went to Knoxville this weekend and shook up the whole SEC race and beat the Vols. Right now, you've got Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas A&M as the only one-loss SEC teams. This race down the stretch, Tom, I have no idea what's going to happen, and it's kind of fun that way, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Good morning, guys. I think it is. We're going to see tonight what the committee thinks of the power of the SEC, and there could be some caterwauling if a bunch of SEC teams are in the range of making the playoffs. I think there will be, obviously. I saw somebody tweet out a scenario yesterday that if this happened and this happened, and it wasn't super far-fetched, it would be like an 8-team tie for first or something like that. That's how competitive it has been in the league this year when you look at who's beaten whom among, Georgia, Alabama over Georgia, Georgia over Texas, and so on. It's been pretty – I think it reflects how teams understand now they can absorb a loss, and I just think it's hard to have your best week after week after week, and we've seen that with Arkansas.
Tom, I wonder – Oregon's probably going to appear as the number one team tonight, being undefeated. But I wonder, do you really think that Oregon is the best team in college football when they don't play in the Southeastern Conference?
Well, that's a good question. They started out so slow. I'm pretty sure, the Boise State game was tough, and there was a couple where they weren't scoring very much.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're in the SEC, you're probably going to face somebody in those first 2, 3, 4 weeks that can beat you. And they didn't happen to do that. But I'll say this for that team. They've gotten a lot better. They do a lot of things that reflect great film study, some of the stuff they've done on special teams. The penalty against Ohio State that ran more time off the clock was very, very sharp. And so I'm not going to say they're not the best team. I've not seen a ton of their game action. But they've rounded into shape. Dylan Gabriel certainly fit into what they're doing. And, I don't doubt that they're going to be number one because they're unbeaten and they're in the Big Ten.
All right, we've read your wrap up from the game this past weekend with Ole Miss. I mean, it was about as dominated as the Sam Pittman team has been in a while, and at about every phase of the game. What were some of your other takeaways from a dominating loss in Fayetteville this past Saturday?
Yeah, a few things. I just think that Lane Kiffin finally decided that, look, we think we can beat their cornerbacks, and so we're going to throw deep. But early on, I think they got a pass interference call, and then they started completing them. And as Sam Pittman pointed out in the postgame, there's a little bit of a crisis of confidence with their corners that they've got to get fixed. They've got to come up with ways to protect it and have the pass rush hit home more often. I think one of the things that maybe surprised me the most was Ole Miss's O-line had been beaten up. There'd been a lot of shuffling. And so I wasn't convinced, they were going to be really good on this day. But their ability to protect was probably about the biggest factor in the game, that Jackson Dart wasn't feeling a lot of pressure, and he put those deep balls on the money, and they certainly made Arkansas pay with those.
Where do you think we go after the bye? Some have thought maybe there's a shakeup at quarterback. Taylon Green certainly has had durability issues with injuries. Singleton's shown flashes. I have a hard time believing you change starters at this point, Tom.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think the only reason for change is if Taylon's not physically ready. But I was standing right there in the post game when some Ole Miss guys were coming up to, congratulate or whatever, whatever you do post game, shake hands, whatever. And I just heard him saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna dap him up." And Taylor was telling them, "Yeah, I'm gonna be fine." And so I think he was prepared to go back in, but when Ole Miss scored on his first possession of the second half to make it 42-10, I just think they decided, let's don't do this. Let's don't put him out there and risk further injury. So, but here's the encouraging thing if you're Arkansas. Malachi Singleton has shown, that touchdown pass that Luke has was a beautiful pass. He's been a durable runner. The 60-yard touchdown run, really, if you listen to the officials observer on the broadcast, said, I wouldn't have thrown that flag for illegal formation. So that could have been a 60-yard touchdown. And he's just scrappy. I think he's getting more comfortable now after that big series against Tennessee, when it looked like on his first series against Tennessee that things were shaky. He bobbled a snap. The snaps weren't on time, and you're like, oh, boy, this could get rough. And yet now he looked like kind of in command and authoritative. But I don't think it's time to make a change. If Taylor Green is healthy, I think he's still the guy, and for good reason.
What about the running back room? Tom Murphy with us, courtesy of the Arkansas Beef Council, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. That was an issue. It's been an issue these last few games, trying to get Jaquinta Jackson back healthy. How important is that to not just get him, but Braylon and some of these other guys fully healthy for the Longhorns, Tom?
Yeah, Sam Pittman was not very, he didn't illuminate us very much on what was happening with Braylon, but he wasn't 100. You could just tell.
Mm-hmm.
And so he didn't get very many reps in that game and had his first, tackle for loss. It may have been a couple of them, but Jaquinta Jackson was so good to start the season. Yeah, he went the wrong way on a couple things or didn't pick up the blitz as he was supposed to. But he's gotten better, and he is a tremendous runner and a real funny kid. I know he said this was his last camp, but I wish he could come back and play another season. But when you add him and a healthy Russell and Dubinion is a good back. They've got plenty of talent in the tailback position.
Tom, I wonder, health-wise, we've talked a lot of football, but basketball. Cal mentioned it last night on Live with Coach Cal. I know that was an issue in the offseason, not just for the Kansas game, TCU, and maybe this game Wednesday night. What do you think about just a larger roster and just getting guys back for their first season opener tomorrow night?
Man, it's going to be so fun. I've only seen very small snippets of them in action so far, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they bounce back from the last 3 minutes and 28 seconds of that game where their offensive possessions didn't look smooth and they had a chance to put it away and they didn't do it. And so, what the rotations look like, who's healthy, how they run offense and defense. There's a lot of things to, I got an email from an old college buddy a couple of days ago, and he just said, I am so excited to see a guy on the sideline who's really good at what he does, and he's going to have answers. And obviously they brought in a really nice roster. So I saw Joe Lunardi had a preseason tournament prediction. What do you have Arkansas on, like a 4 seed?
A 4 seed, yeah.
4 seed. So I don't know. There's going to be ups and downs on the season. We know that, but it's just going to be fun that there's such a talented roster. They're good at guard, and I think Cal is very excited to be good and deep at guard. And I think the TCU game was a great learning experience for them. But you have a lead. Well, you still have to make smart plays. You can't waste possessions and things like that. So they're just going to be fun to watch all season.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what the crowd looks like for the first, actual live regular season game. There was a good crowd for the Kansas game. A little surprised how sparse it was in Fort Worth with the amount of alumni there, but won't be on a Friday night. We'll be on a Wednesday. Looks like weather's going to be okay. Tom, what kind of actual attendance do you think we see at Bud Walton for John Calipari's first regular season game as head coach?
Hadn't thought about that, but when you bring it up, there's some history here. Hey, I saw John Calipari's first game here, so surely there's going to be 12, 13,000 at a minimum, and maybe they'll push it up past 15. I haven't checked with anybody. I know I'm going to be there, and I have a feeling it's going to be a lively, big crowd to witness his first game.
I think so as well. All right, Tom Murphy with us, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Tom, we'll talk to you on Thursday and get ready for a bye weekend, which has some large games to go through for this weekend's SEC slate.
Outstanding. Talk to y'all then.
All right, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. You can go to Cave City, to Bailey's, and try the best burger in Arkansas. You guys nominated it. Then they went around to the 5 different regions in the state and brought you the best burgers at Arkansas. So Cave City's the place to go for the Caveman Burger. And get you a watermelon while you're up there, and then get you one of those big, delicious all-beef burgers and try the Caveman Burger. Beef, it's what's for dinner. They bring you Tom Murphy every Tuesday, and love that statewide competition to find out what the best 100% beef burger was in Arkansas. We know that it's in Cave City, Arkansas, with the Caveman Burger at Bailey's. So try it out. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
So I want to ask you all the same thing I asked Tom. When we hear this theme music later on tonight, I expect the Oregon Ducks to be named the number 1 team in all of college football via the rankings. Dan Lanning's a really good coach. I think he's going to be the Alabama head coach once Kalen DeBoer is let go by the Crimson Tide down the road, maybe 2 years, 3 years, whenever it happens. Do you think they're the best team in college football?
Well, I think their resume is the best resume right now. It's hard to say who's the best team because I think we've seen it be so different week to week. But when you look at their wins, their record right now, I think it would be hard to make a case that they're not number 1.
Would you endorse them?
I don't know that they're the best team.
Yeah.
You know,
they had that Ohio State win at home, but I mean, you look at I guess they won this weekend pretty handily in Michigan, but Michigan sucks. So, no offense, Matt. I just don't. I don't see. I think Georgia's better than Oregon, and we'll see it because I think they'll eventually match up. Are there 3 SEC teams better than Oregon? Maybe more.
I'll say this about Oregon: they show up in big games. I mean, the playoffs, every game's going to be big. I just like their chances to make a run. Now,
I can tell you this: the way Ole Miss is lined, I know Arkansas had something to do with how Ole Miss looked, and Ole Miss isn't at the top of this league. But with the way they played Saturday, how many teams around the country can compete with the guys that Ole Miss has?
Yeah, you don't want to this weekend.
Then you look at A&M. Then you look at Georgia. So, I mean, from a line play standpoint, I don't know that Oregon can they match up with that. I don't know.
You mentioned that having to play Ole Miss. That's what Georgia has. I mean, you think about what Georgia has to do these next 2 weeks. They have to go to Oxford, and then they have to host Tennessee, arguably 2 of the best teams in the Southeastern Conference. Georgia has a brutal stretch here, and they barely squeaked by Florida. Carson Beck throwing picks left and right. I think I think defensive coordinators are starting to really stay attuned to that.
Texas has as good a defensive line and defense overall as anyone. Focus on their quarterback play and who should be at quarterback, but like it or not, Texas has some of the best defensive numbers in the country.
Yep. We've got our SEC update coming up in just one bit. There will be several SEC teams that are incorporated in the college football playoff rankings that come out tonight as well. We've also got a SEC caller in Brian that is called in. If you want Brian to come on, He's will.
Not just an SEC
but
caller.
We need 3 other callers. If you don't want Brian to come on, call us at 877-377-6963. Giving Brian an opportunity to come on, but only if our phone lines are not filled up. So there's an opportunity here. If you don't want to hear him, you've got to call the Morning Rush.
Hey, do you want to spruce up your existing home or start from the ground up? Either way, you can check with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas first before you get started and find out why for more than 100 years, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has helped local families just like yours make their dream homes come true. Visit myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, or visit any of the 25 locations today for Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
By not calling, i.e. not endorsing,
not one person,
you are basically allowing Brian to have this platform, which we will talk to him after our SEC update if it gets to that. If not, we'll hear from another Arkansas fan, hopefully. More of the Morning Rush coming up here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. Stay with us.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Hi, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing kit. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
This is the Morning Rush.
Great to be on here with you guys. I think you guys do awesome work, and I really enjoy listening to you.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got coffee.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, NHL to entertainment and political props. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot.
It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill.
So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas.
Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got coffee.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch.
your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
I guess our listeners want to hear from Brian and Ozark. Got a text in from Danny in Texarkana. He says, at work, but when Brian calls in, please remind him that Texas does not have a win over a team currently in the top 25.
There you go.
Wants to remind you on that.
Brian is working up his rebuttals now.
Yeah, doing his best he can. All right, your SEC update brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. The SEC, for the first time, will use their new guidelines when it comes to determining who will make it to the championship game in Atlanta, Georgia. Head-to-head competition against the tied teams. Record versus all common conference opponents is second. Record against highest, best place. At the very bottom, a random draw of the tie teams at F. That seems kind of short to just have a random draw, that there's only A, B, C, D, E, and then we're just going to do a random
So
draw.
what should be the next step?
I don't know.
Mr. Genius? What
Jousting.
Jousting.
Dice.
I just think best of three. You go just Alabama drill there. You know, bloody alley right in the middle of the field. Yeah,
in for that.
Which I think is how we should do the coin toss. No coin toss anymore. Send out your biggest baddest, and we'll send out our biggest baddest. We'll just do the Oklahoma drill.
SEC basketball got underway last night. Alabama won. Tennessee won. Texas A&M lost. Texas lost. Florida won. Kentucky won. Ole Miss won. South Carolina lost. Mississippi State won. Georgia won. Vanderbilt won. Missouri, listen to this, Tommy. 20 straight losses. They lose to Memphis and Penny Hardaway last night. They have not won a game since, I think it's since 2023, if I remember that correctly. It's been that long for Dennis Gates and company.
That's how many games is that?
20. It's 20 straight losses.
20 straight losses. Okay.
Yeah.
You said 2023, and I'm just, they got me to think 20 straight losses. Woo.
20 straight losses for Dennis Gates and company. I watched a little bit of the Duke game last night, some highlights from the Baylor and Gonzaga game, simply because you're playing Baylor on Saturday, and now we have a bet on that game with my father, Baylor bet, which I don't feel good about. I think Arkansas.
The bet's arts. Either way, we win.
Yeah, we win either way.
Arts Bark.
So, and you're paying. You're paying either way. So right.
No, I think since you're the son, you should.
I have to fork over
the
cash required to eat.
No
okay.
expense account.
Fair,
just
put it over at that point.
I'm just the moderator on this deal.
Okay. Alabama and LSU and
just there to eat.
Alabama and LSU and Baton Rouge. Ole Miss hosting Georgia. Better game this weekend. We have a bye week. We can take in a lot of college football, Arkansas basketball in prime time at 6:30.
I like Georgia Ole Miss. Is that the one which one did you ask him about those three games?
Yeah, well, which game's better? Of course, more people are going to be probably focused on Arkansas basketball.
Is there a chance LSU blows out Georgia this week?
You mean Bama?
I mean, LSU blows out Bama this week.
I don't know. That'd be nice.
It's in Baton Rouge, right?
Yeah. I would
not.
The game of more consequence is definitely in Oxford, but I tend to think, even coming off that big win, I know what we just saw, but I could see Georgia going in and winning by that game by 2 touchdowns like they did against Texas earlier this year, where they just eat Jackson Dart alive in that game. What do you think, Big C?
Well, I know that Watkins guy won't go for 5 touchdowns and
254 yards.
Yeah, it won't be anything like that.
Dart's not going to break a record. Yeah, the game of consequences in Vaught Hemingway, but I tend to think that the Alabama LSU game might be a better overall game, to be honest. That's where I'm kind of on that.
Who are you rooting for in that game? If you like chaos,
between Bama and LSU.
Georgia and Ole Miss. If you like chaos, you're rooting for Ole Miss, right?
I can't root for Ole Miss. It's really difficult for me to cheer for Georgia. I had Georgia and Texas representing the SEC in Atlanta before the season. I still think that scenario could play itself out. So I would still take Georgia in this game, even though Ole Miss, I mean, they're a 2.5-point dog at home.
Who you take? Who you root for?
I'm still Georgia.
Yeah, I know you don't. You just hate Ole Miss, but if you like chaos and you want to give the committee more trouble, you root for Ole Miss. If you just like anarchy, so that would be the way to go with that. So, all right, that's your SEC update. It's brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. It is hot tub season. They've got the warehouse clearance sale going on right now at Burton Pools and Spas. Payments as low as $58 a month. Prices starting at under $4,000 a month, and they've got over 100 in stock, ready to deliver. You can go to burtonpools.com, and you can see all of the hot tubs there. You can choose the different models and styles, whether you like the Envoy, which has got the captain's chair in it with the footwell that really gets just right on that arch of your foot. You can just kind of rub that. It is awesome. So check it all out. Burton Pools and Spas. They provide delivery included in the price as well. So all the setups there for you as well, because nobody wants to have to deliver and set that thing up, and you get all the help with that. Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland, and online at burtonpools.com.
Another Chiefs win on Monday Night Football.
Hunt for the touchdown. Kansas City remains unbeaten. 8-0.
They defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 30-24 in overtime. Patrick Mahomes, even with the banged-up ankle, gets it done. Here's what he said after the game about his injury.
Yeah, I was trying to run off the field, and they were telling me not to. Just kind of the football mentality is to get off the field, and we just scored a touchdown, and they told me to just take it slow, and as I started walking, I started feeling better, and obviously after I get the respat, I get that comfortability back, and then took a few drops and felt good.
And just the last thing with Andy said that he told you were coming out.
I thought he was joking. He said it, and I was like, "Come on, like we're not doing this again." He trusts me, and once the doctors checked it out, and I was able to get back and do the drops again, he let me get back on the field.
Is there anyone you believe, did you see Baker Mayfield's reaction when the Chiefs won the toss last night? He called.
No, I didn't see that.
I can't remember if he called heads or tails, but he lost, and he just he put his head down
because he knew the
game was over. It's the exact same mentality.
You can't know the game. You can't say the game's. Are you talking about in overtime?
Yeah, in overtime.
Okay.
Because it's the exact same mentality.
No, I wasn't awake for that either.
that your team used to have when Tom Brady was in that situation. It is so deflating when you play Patrick Mahomes, not just in the playoffs, but now this season with them being undefeated. It's the complete opposite of how Cowboys fans feel, where you at the end of the game you feel like you're going to lose. But with Chiefs, it is spectacular to watch this guy play, and you can tell he loves because he's been banged up plenty of times in his career, and he guts it out every time, every single time he just guts it out, and I love watching this kid play. Call him a kid, even though he's only a few years younger than me. He is what football personifies to me in today's day and age. You don't have these old school guys anymore, but he is kind of old school in the sense that it doesn't really matter what he's going through. He'll play regardless.
Yeah. So if you were starting a team with a player today, he's your first draft choice, right? You had to draft the current players.
I would take him now at this stage in his career with less tread on the tires than I would, and I love Jayden
Who else
Daniels.
in the league would even?
Yeah, taking a first or second or third year quarterback, I would still take Mahomes at this point in his career with less years left.
How many fantasy drafts has he taken first in? What percentage you think?
Oh, well, after last season, I think his projections dropped a little bit, but now they're going to ramp right back up after this year.
100%.
And defensively, that's where they're good defense too.
Yeah.
And what I asked you before the show, who's more likely to three-peat, the Chiefs or UConn with basketball? And honestly,
I'd say neither. But
we kind of agreed on the neither.
Georgia couldn't do it. Bama never did it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
hard to do in football.
Hard to do. Hey, if you're craving something sweet here on Election Day on this Tuesday, stop by Andy's Frozen Custards. They're on Oak Street and also Day Ford Drive in Conway. They have a location in North Little Rock on JFK, and they're in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue. Take home the pick 6, mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat as well. It's all at Andy's Frozen Custards, Fort Smith, Conway, and North Little Rock. At Andy's Frozen Custards, walk up or drive through. They are ready to serve you.
Chris in Fayetteville texted him Holmes is 29, so apparently we are the same age. Yeah, we're the same age on that.
Yeah. So are you running out of tread on your tires?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
I feel older.
It looks like that tread's
older
right
by
up there on the
listen,
forehead.
Listen, there are things you can make fun of a man for, but let's not talk about a receding hairline. That doesn't even exist. But even mentioning it, I just get apprehensive and a little self-conscious about that. Speaking of
that wouldn't be why I would do it at all,
Yeah.
would it?
Speaking of self-conscious, Brian is called in. Brian, what's going on, man?
Hey, not much, man. But hey, first of all, to the texter that is obviously an idiot, Vanderbilt is ranked.
That is true.
I mean, that dude needs to get his little facts straight. Obviously, he probably didn't know.
Because
crap
you've
about
never
football
called in this radio show and spouted off things that had no factual information to it
Well,
whatsoever.
I mean, I can spout out something factual that Arkansas lost to the worst team in the Big 12, being OSU.
It's
so,
hard,
I mean,
hard to argue that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of sums up Arkansas season. You lose to OSU, and I think Tennessee kind of overlooked Arkansas. So, that's a wash either way.
Even off a bye, you don't think it had anything to do with the Arkansas defense playing out of their minds in that game?
Don't really know. I think Tennessee overlooked Arkansas because what I saw was the real defensive backs last week. And this is one thing that you need to think about. Everybody thinks that Texas is worried about coming to Fayetteville. Quinn Ewers is 9-0 on the road. Has not lost on the road.
All right.
So he ain't worried about coming to Fayetteville. But still, I heard yesterday on another show that there's a lot of speculation that Sam's going to be forced out. And really, I think that'd be the best thing for Arkansas, especially when I look at their schedule next year. I mean, I already see
their schedule's brutal next year. You got Notre Dame at
Yeah,
home.
they
You're
can lose 7 or 8.
going to Memphis, Little Rock game
A&M
against
at home,
ASU.
they're going to lose. A&M at home to lose. They'll lose to Notre Dame. Then you got Texas and everybody else on the road. LSU on the road. If he's not gone this year, he's definitely gone next year.
Yeah, next year, really, I'll agree with you there. And actually, I'll agree with you at Oklahoma State. So, Brian, appreciate the call. Oklahoma State, Tommy, is 0-6 in the Big 12. 0-6. That loss
still stings.
That loss gets worse by the week. Worse by the week. I will agree. And 2025, you're exactly right. It is a fire me schedule. I mean, your non-conference games are Notre Dame, which is going to be good next year under Marcus Freeman, I think. Again, going to Arkansas, the Little Rock for the Arkansas State game, which by no means is going to be a home game. Memphis on the road, which traditionally is one of the best Group of 5 teams in college football. And then they substituted Missouri State for some crap team. I forget the opponent that is. Then you go to Baton Rouge, to Knoxville, to Austin, and where's the other home guy? In Oxford. So that is awful. Just kind of like it was last year when it came to road opponents outside of Florida. That is a tough thing. Here's the deal, though, when it comes to this next weekend against Texas. You just can't get clobbered. I don't think a lot of Arkansas fans expect to win that football game, quite frankly. But if your last 3 SEC home games are getting whacked 34-10, 63-31, and by 3-something touchdowns against Texas, that's just a hard sell about confidence heading into conference play next year.
And all this rain has backed the Buffalo River up, and some water's pouring into the White right now, and backing the Norfolk up. But it won't be long. The White River will be crystal clear as well. Our buddy Joey Clampett's up at Gaston's right now, and the water. He sent me a picture. Water was so high yesterday up around the dock and that area coming down the river that it was just too dangerous to fish, and I had to call off the fishing yesterday on the White River. But, that's part of it. And it got me to thinking, this isn't a guide service or a resort that's going to send you out there when it's dangerous. They're going to keep your safety first in mind. And Joey said, hey, we're just going to hang here at the resort, have a great lunch and a great dinner, and just kind of enjoy everything. And, it comes with the territory when you have all that rain come at once. But you can know at Gaston's your safety and is their priority, and they're going to keep you safe. They don't want to just take you out for a fishing trip to get your money like some other places would possibly do. There were other boats out, so be careful out there right now. 870-431-5202. Now's a great time to call. We've really had great weather. I know we've had rain the last few days, but this weather through October, November, unseasonably warm, has made for some great fishing time as well. And it's not too late to get your trip booked to Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202, Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Arkansas quarterback Tyler Wilson, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The long wait is almost over, Waldron. Wave Rural Connect will be opening the Waldron Zone for orders November the 18th. If you registered before the 18th, you still need to put in your product order when Waldron opens. Amazing fiber internet and phone, all from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas, is coming to Waldron. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure to get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
This is Ricky Young with Mr. Cabbage Head and the Screaming Radishes, vegetable-related rock for a healthier lifestyle. When we have any problem at all, we call 782-8940.
It's a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Have you been to the River Valley's only multi-sport facility? Then let's hang out. The Hangout in Fort Smith is the only sports facility that offers indoor tennis and pickleball, indoor and outdoor basketball, and has now added multiple soccer fields. Soccer leagues are forming soon. Did you know the Hangout also has an 8,000 square foot fitness center with bar, yoga, HIIT, and Pilates classes? The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thehangoutfs.com. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan was my mortgage lender here. And Ethan, between you and Emily, over 2 decades.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience here to help you get closed on a home really quick. We offer custom financing available through VA, FHA, RD, and conventional loans. First Financial Mortgage has a great history of lending in the area. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
For too long, our rural communities have been left behind. It shouldn't matter where you live, everyone needs access to the justice system. I'm Justice Rhonda Wood, and I'm running for Chief Justice of the Arkansas Supreme Court. I understand the challenges that our rural communities face, and I've worked to create solutions for courts across the state. I will make improving our justice system in rural communities a priority as your next Chief Justice. I'm Rhonda Wood, and I'm asking for your vote on November 5th, because Arkansas is stronger when our communities are stronger.
Paid for by Wood for Justice. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, this is SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Singleton going to keep it on an option right. Inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Malachi Singleton with some signs of life. A 13-yard run, and the Hogs aren't dead yet.
Please rate and review the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Give us 5 stars to help us get our content out to the rest of the Razorback family. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Got our CJ's Trivia Tuesday coming up in just a bit. We're going to hear from John Calipari from his coach's show last night. We're also going to chat with our friend David Rath with Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. David, we've got a new month this month. I know you guys are stock full of Rath Road Ready certified vehicles. I know we've talked about the inconsistency this year of college football, but you're always going to get consistency at Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, we sure try. I mean, sometimes, you run into situations where it's hard to keep inventory on the ground and things like that. I mean, the market's still kind of volatile. It never really did kind of calm down. So it's up and down, but we've got a really good selection right now. We had a good month last month, traded for a lot of great stuff, a lot of local trade-ins and local purchases on both lots. So, I mean, you really can't go wrong. You're not going to get hurt on any of those Road Ready certified pre-owns. We kind of do all the hard work there, take all the guesswork out of it, make sure you're not buying the last guy's problems, and, do the recon and have the receipts to prove it and kind of back that up with some warranty for you as well. So, make sure that you're going to be getting a good vehicle that you don't have to stress about going into the holiday season. I mean, we're all trying to spend money on the holidays. We got kids. I got 4 of them to buy presents for. You're not looking to have to fix something you just bought. So, we're going to make sure we got you taken care of there.
You got 4 kids? I don't know
I
that.
do.
Jeez.
Yes, 4 of them.
4 first-year vehicles. Now, you're going to make them buy their own car, right? Pops is not taking care of them. They're going to have to learn hard work and endurance to get a vehicle from Rath Mitsubishi, correct?
There's going to be some lawns mowed for sure.
Okay. All right. Make them work for it as best you can. Again, that's our friend David Rath with Rath Mitsubishi, who always like to talk and catch up with his dad, Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources as well. David, good catching up, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Did you pay for your first vehicle? I'm curious about it now that I asked David.
No,
that.
I did not.
Okay,
It was a hand-me-down.
So was mine.
An 86 Chevy Blazer, and I started driving.
I remember what it was. I just couldn't remember. Like, I got my late mom's old truck, and my brother and I shared that, but we didn't pay for it. I had to pay for my first car, vehicle that I had for college, and then the one I have now.
That was the only vehicle I didn't pay for, though.
Okay. And that same
since
here.
then, I've paid all my own car and all my own insurance.
So I'll take the question I just asked David. Are you going to make the kiddos?
100%. No.
Is it bad? Okay, let me ask you this. As a parent of both a boy and 2 girls, I'm going to have a different set of rules for my son than I am my daughter. My daughter's going to get
not going to work out well for you.
Well, but there's going to be there's going to be obviously flexibility and some stuff with the son, but he's also going to have to work for more things than the daughter will have to. So it's a give and take. Is that outlandish for me to think I'm going to be able to accomplish that?
Well, what's outlandish is you think you're going to have any say over any of that.
Okay, that's the outlandish portion.
That's the outlandish part.
That's the outlandish portion of that.
Hey, football season's here and conference action is in full swing. Download the Oakland Sports app in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Get signed up today if you're a new customer with Oakland Sports. You get $1,000 in bonus bets. It's real simple. You make your first deposit. You're automatically enrolled in the promotion. You get a second chance on your first bet each of the first 10 days for up to $100. So there's $1,000 right there for you. That's guaranteed with Oakland Sports if those bets don't work out. Debit and credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, ACH, and on-site cash all welcome with Oakland Sports. So bet with the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oakland Sports.
Cal was happy to see everyone last night at Sassy's Barbecue and Grill.
Full house despite the weather. Let's welcome Coach Cal to Sassy.
Thank you, folks. I walked in and said, why are you here? And there's a little storm going on out there.
Decent crowd last night. He shared again his thanks to our audience and our listeners who wanted to take in that show. Tommy, he's been here, I guess, since April, and more people are seeing him out in public and stuff, doing his coach's show live, different from New York and everything. But from what I've seen, he's willing to talk to people. It seems like he's willing to, because he knows what he kind of is as a pillar of the community now, not even a year in.
He gets it. I mean, he took his players to Hot Springs and Pine Bluff, and they washed the feet of kids and gave them shoes.
Yeah.
This
600, I think.
This is a guy that understands his role in the community, his program's role in the community. He's spoken to it, but Yeah, he's not afraid to engage fans. Ones that are ready to hug his neck because he's here, and the ones that might want to wring his neck at some point.
Yeah.
He is good in any environment. So, and trust me, we've seen it enough already, and you'll see it more as we move forward. He commands every room he's in. He's in charge of every room he's in, and he's just got that personality and that self-confidence that we'd all love to have.
We're gonna hear. I think it's Coach Coleman that is meeting with the media today, if I remember that right. One of his assistant is talking, so we'll get a chance to hear from tomorrow. We've got some more Cal stuff we've got to get into tomorrow as well. But for now, we do have a basketball question for you on CJ's Trivia Tuesday.
I'm ready for one of them Butcher Boys.
Yeah, CJ.
CJ's Butcher Boy. My God.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
Now, Doug is a big guy. He couldn't even finish all of his, and I finished all mine.
But he got to number 2, didn't he?
I did too.
Trust me, that is a burger to die for.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
I think this is a softball one, but maybe it's not. You play Lipscomb tomorrow night.
Okay.
Where is Lipscomb's collegiate campus located? And their high school, too. 877-377-6963. Do you know this off the top of your head?
I would have to look it up.
Okay, you'd have to look it up. Big C, don't say it, but do you know this off the top of your head? Where is Lipscomb? Got to call 877-377-6963 to win a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card.
Is it Muskogee?
Muskogee, Oklahoma. No, it's not. It's not too far, I guess. But where is Lipscomb located?
I think I actually do know the answer to this now that I think about it.
Maybe this hint will help. Trent Dilfer coached the high school football program. It's kind of like it kind of reminds me of Christian Brothers in Memphis.
Right.
It's not in Memphis. You've got the high school and then you've got the college too.
Right.
And I know there's other high schools and colleges.
There's a high school right on the campus at LSU.
Yeah, what's it? Is it a Catholic school? Or is it a public? I thought it was a Catholic school. I mean, it's like the equivalent.
University High, I believe it is.
I think something like that. All right, Big C, who we got attempting first for our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question?
Caleb and Pangburn.
All right, Caleb, you're up first. Where is Lipscomb located?
Lipscomb's in Nashville, Tennessee.
That is correct.
Did you know that, or did you have to Google that?
Well, my dad works for Harding, so we have a close relationship with Lipscomb.
Okay. All right, there's a connection there. Again, that's your opponent tomorrow night. Caleb, hang on. We'll get your information off air. Always loved giving out the CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card. You saw Cecil there and his buddy.
Yeah, we were there before the LSU game, and him and Doug were there. So, I mean, great place to stop. If you're going to take the crew somewhere before the game, easy in, easy out at CJ.
Yep, you got basketball now to look forward to before games, after games. Of course, got a couple more football games left. So if you need a great place to stop in Northwest Arkansas or on your way to the game in Russellville, stop by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. We got our What's Your Beef Wednesday tomorrow that we'll get to some of our beefs this week. Seems like that one of the beefs you have is the election places that
don't hold the line
people treating them as
just because
church functions.
Exactly. It's not the time to socialize at the when you're trying to check in. Don't hold the line up. There's people that are trying to sneak away from work for just a few minutes to get their voting done.
Lunch break or whatever they get their time
Move
off.
Move it along. Hey, we're brought to you by the Hickey and Hole Law Partners. They've grown with 4 locations across the state. They're in Mena, they're in Little Rock, they're in Northwest Arkansas, they're in Fort Smith as well. You find yourself with a struggle right now, and you need legal help, whether it's a custody case, whether it's a divorce, family law, criminal matter, civil matter. They've got over 7 decades of combined experience to put to work for you in your case and aggressively represent you from your corner. 479-434-2414. You can call that number today, 434-2414, or go to kevinhickeylaw.com.
We'll get into some more of what John Calipari had to say on his coach's show last night. You've got the first edition of the college football playoff that comes on later tonight. So hope everyone has a good rest of your Tuesday. Phil Elson, live in studio today for halftime. So you'll hear him, Matt Jones, Big C, and Colt 45 coming up for the next 3 hours. Appreciate everyone listening here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Halftime is next.
It's that time.